So Michael Rowlands has made a video reply to me, and it's pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. It's him wandering around his back garden, huffing and puffing. I'll give you an example.
Been selected for quality criticism. The place where Carl sits and and a guy smacked another guy over the head with a bike lock. Who got smacked over the head with a bike lock? Because, you know, again, communism. Damn you, Marx! And this one also was wearing a black backpack, along with his narrative. And the point of my video, this guy, and we need to find him, completely missed, because he made this response to me, in which he...
Why don't you just record the video normally, rather than panting, getting yourself out of breath and panting around your back garden, Mike? Just out of interest. But the thing is, Mike, I don't really understand what you consider evidence to be. I actually watched all of your video and thought, wow, what a remarkable point of pedantry. How dare I talk about something someone else has done? That's terrible, isn't it? That's just awful. I mean, that's not what all news outlets do all the time. I mean, did you object to the doxing of Millennial Woes by his local paper, where they had his picture, his photograph of his house, and his face in like a double-page spread? Of course you didn't. You don't give a shit.
Which was the article saying about how this guy has been caught, and it was the same guy. So Paul was right. They'd figured out who it was, and it turns out that they were actually right about this. And that somehow makes me bad.
No, Mike, it doesn't make you bad. Okay, what makes you bad is your blind insistence to ignore the evidence. You just dismissed it out of hand. You didn't even show it in your video. You just dismissed it as conspiracy theory. Right? What do you think a fucking police photo fit is? How do you think they identify criminals? Do you know what they do, Mike? I'll tell you. This is really breaking news. They look at the guy's fucking face. They compare him to a picture of the person committing a crime and say, wow, do these faces fit? Are they the same? They have software to see if it matches up with the person they're looking for. It's actually done by visual representation, Mike. And so when they find some guy who appears to be someone else, but with a face mask on, but otherwise the contours of their face fit, that's evidence, Michael. It's not a conspiracy theory. That's actually evidence. And that should be investigated by the police, which is what happened. And guess what? It was the right guy and he was arrested. Fucking knock off this bullshit. Jesus Christ. And you know, if it wasn't the right guy, I would have put up a video saying that wasn't the right guy. Don't get me wrong. I agree that they go too far in their witch hunting. I completely agree. They shouldn't bombard the guy's pages. They shouldn't do all these things. And I didn't say that they fucking should. I was just saying that's what they had done.
And I'm wrong because I told Carl that it was bad to dox people when you don't have sufficient evidence to go on. Because that was the point of the video, I guess.
Yeah, but that was fucking not what I did. You fucking penis. This is why people think you and the rest of your community are fucking idiots. You are just morons. This is a terrible pause. I didn't mean to pause it like this. But you are actually morons. And it's just not worth my time dealing with you. That's the thing. This is not worth my time.
I see it. The point was to tell Carl how ridiculous it is to accept things based on shaky evidence. Like,
it wasn't shaky evidence, Mike. It wasn't shaky evidence. It was accurate evidence. It was the same guy. He had the same bag, he had the same glasses, he had the same facial features, he had the right background to be that kind of person. He had those political leanings. He talked about how he was interested in revolution, and lo and behold, he's at an Antifa rally smacking people with bike locks because they're apparently fascists. Mike, shut up. Sometimes evidence has to be listened to. I know you hate this.
That's not a rational thing to do. That's not what you do when you are rational and skeptical and a freethinker.
What? Looking at evidence is not what you do when you're a rational, skeptical freethinker. Well then, I guess I'm just a crazy social justice ideologue. I don't give a shit about your labels, Mike. I don't care. You can have those words and debase them all you want. I really don't mind. You take them. I don't even care.
You don't do that. But you did, and that was the point of the video, not...
The point of the video. But I did look at the evidence, and that was the point of the video. Yeah, you didn't look at the evidence. I mean, you literally cut it out of your video, Mike.
If it's a person who's committed a violent act against someone, and we know who it is, based on actual evidence...
Like, actual evidence that actually connected him to the crime. Like, actually photo-fitting his face to the face of the person who committed the crime. I mean, what were you expecting, Mike? What actual evidence are you expecting other than the guy who looks exactly like this other guy? What could there be? Do you think he's going to whip out an ID or something? What the fuck evidence are you expecting?
Then yes, that's bad, and I will condemn that.
Oh, well done. You didn't, though. You didn't condemn it. I mean, you're just condemning me for reporting on something someone else has done, but you're not condemning the guy who did something, who has been arrested for that crime.
But if you're gonna just accept some bullshit from some crazy-ass fucking conspiracy theory hive mind that is, Paul, then that's stupid. You're an idiot, and you...
I didn't just accept it. I went through it. I looked at it for myself, and it looked like it was actually the guy. Every indication showed that it was actually him. And then research into that guy's background showed that he actually had political interests that would align in this way. So we create a reasonable suspicion that this is the guy. That's what being skeptical actually is. It's not just dismissing things until some higher authority says, well, actually, this is the case. It's being investigative, thinking for yourself, being critical, not just being a tribalist. Which, let's be honest, Mike, that's what you are.
The fact that this has come to fruition and it is the same guy doesn't make the fact that you doxed him any better.
There is no fact that I doxed him. It wasn't a fact that I doxed him. It's a fact that I reported on someone else doing that, but that's no different to what the British papers do.
That doesn't change that at all.
It's not a thing though, is it, Mike? You're lying. This is a misrepresentation of what happened. I didn't find his info. I didn't put it on the internet. I didn't put it on 4chan. I didn't then go and dig into this guy's history and find all of the other data points that gave us the character profile of Eric Clanton. I didn't do any of that. I just said this is what happened, Mike.
So, your video makes no sense, and you've missed the point completely.
No, you've missed the point completely. You've created a straw man. This is a misrepresentation of what happened. None of this is true.
And it's hilarious that you and your followers are trying to get me to admit that I was wrong, because, I mean, technically it wasn't really wrong. I was pointing out how ridiculous...
How something that didn't happen, happened. That's what you're trying to do. You're claiming I did this thing, someone else did, because I talked about something someone else did. And you're claiming that evidence isn't evidence. And you're doing that for whatever goddamn reason. I don't even care why you're doing that. I just don't care, Mike. But anyway, you've had enough of my time. Take care.